What up, guys? Here we are in the off season now. I know we've been chatting about specific players on our team. Let's talk about Khalil Mack. Do we keep him or do we trade him? Kind of an interesting thought all around, guys. But let's talk about it. Bolt Bros, let's go. Yeah, it's 2023 season is going to be different. And, we're doing these videos, guys, not to say, hey, this is what we're going to do. It's about just hypothetical situations. It's about what can we do to better our team? What ways can we maybe even capitalize on a player's performance in 2022? So, and Khalil Mack, dude, stud, big pickup for us last year. I think he was one of our first pickups and, one of our first trades for a player that I could think of in a very long time. And man, he was rock solid for us all season, guys. I mean, cannot deny his skill set, cannot deny his leadership, cannot deny that, hey, he brought this team together in this defense. I mean, him doing all those dinners, paying for dinners for the entire defense, just getting a nice brotherhood together as a leader. It's unmatched at some point. But where I'm kind of emphasizing this and why we're going to talk about Khalil Mack is because he had a Pro Bowl season. He was phenomenal for us. He was a rock for us. The big knock about him is that he can't stay healthy. Well, he stayed healthy all year for us, all 18 games for us this year. He did well for us, and he was bottom line just a total leader for us. So, I just want to go over real quick the stats that he had for us. So, Khalil Mack, 2022, 50 combined tackles, 17 assists, 8 sacks, no picks, did have a forced fumble in the Falcons game where he just manhandled that receiver, pulled that ball right out of his hands. And, I thought he was going to take it to the house. That would have been phenomenal. But he had a phenomenal season. Definitely did better than his 2021 season with the Bears. Was healthy. That's big. Mack 2020 did really well. 9 sacks, 1 pick. Bottom line, very, very good player. Very consistent player. To me, I've always looked at Mack as kind of a guy where he's like 9 to 10 sacks per season. I mean, the guy has a phenomenal career of 84.5 sacks right now. 2 touchdowns. What do you know? 1 with the Raiders, 1 with the Bears. But bottom line, guys, I think this number would be much higher if Joey Bosa was on the field for a majority of the season. It would have made a huge difference. But what we're talking about as a subject here is, would you trade Khalil Mack? All right. Healthy season for us. We did trade some picks to be able to get to him. He did get to the Pro Bowl for us. Absolute leader for a team. Would you trade Khalil Mack? I mean, that is the true question. Well, you don't want to talk about getting rid of a guy like this. I mean, a guy that could be a stable for your team, a guy that is an absolute beast. It was interesting when my brother Andrew and we went down to the Super Bowl, down to the stadium, just kind of check it out, see what it's all about, check out the environment and everything too. One of the guys that we were chatting with, and we were wearing our Chargers gear and everything like that, he's like, hey, I met Khalil Mack, and guys, that guy is an absolute just massive guy. That is a guy that really you don't want to mess with by any means. And he's just an intimidating looking guy. And, even on the field, he's kind of a silent guy, but at the same side, he'll be really verbal with everybody on the field and he'd be a good, solid leader all around. But he's one of those guys that just, ends don't like him. O-line guys don't like him at all by any means. And he's a menace on the field, bottom line. So the thing about it is in pros to finding a way to trade this guy. I mean, he's going to be 32 this month. February 22nd is his birthday. You start kind of thinking about 32 as an end. Is he going to start declining? Is he going to be back to the same player next year, such and such? But he did go to the Pro Bowl. There is an element that you could trade this guy off to be able to get some sort of higher pick. I mean, second round, possibly. I mean, that's kind of what we did with him last year, second and a late round pick, where we kind of had a flip-flop with the Bears later on. But a second round pick for this guy. What if we did get another second round pick for this guy? What if we could get a potential wide receivers. Looking at some mock drafts, there's some of the top wide receivers in the second round that are potential. Quentin Richardson is one guy that comes to mind. I've seen some mock drafts where he gets into the second round. What if there's that way? Now, other thing for us too, we're kind of in a situation where we're getting a lot of salary cap issues here, guys. So you start thinking, wow, you got Joey Bosa as number one. That's our number one salary for this year. Currently, based upon this, we're seeing $20.5 million over the cap right now. You look at Khalil Mack right now. He's currently second on the team at a total cap hit of $27 million. If we cut him pre-June, it's a $9 million dead money, but $18.4 million cap savings for us. So you start thinking, what if we were to shift a player like this and trade him off, say, for a second round pick, a high second round pick? They get a Pro Bowl end for that team, whoever decides to take him. What if that's something we could do? I feel like there's a point of sell high when a player is good, right? And, what does it do for us? If they pick up the salary, that's great. We get a high second round pick also out of that too. I'm just throwing this out there, guys, because this is something you got to think about. We need to find a way to be able to get the salary cap down. Find a way to get positivity on this side. Now, we would lose a leader on that side of the line. We would have to find some sort of fill in. Now, there's some guys in the defensive line that I do feel that could be very, very good for us. I think that there are some guys in the draft that we could look at that are very, very good. You know what? Even to say, I think it was Brian Baldinger brought out a video and he said, hey, man, why don't you put Derwin James more at the line? He could be a 10-plus sack kind of guy at the line. And I agreed to that to some extent. I mean, I think it might have been the Colts game. Yeah, maybe it's not the Colts game. It's one of the games during the 4-game stretch where Derwin James, maybe it was Miami. Derwin James came in and rushed in and just blew up the running back. I mean, just manhandled the guy. And the guy can be down in the box and rush a quarterback and get sacks, create pressure. The guy has speed all around. But what if you just end up throwing a guy like that more at the end? Now, obviously that helps. That doesn't help with the back end of our defense and everything like that, but just hypothetical, throwing it out there, guys. What if you just kind of throw out, him out there and go out there and let him be a little bit more of a, linebacker or lineman kind of guy for us? I don't know, throwing it out there. And I have been looking at a little bit more on one player. This is a guy we could potentially get in the right around the 21st pick. But if you start looking at Trenton Simpson from Clemson, I mean, you start looking at him and think, man, adding a speedy guy, 4.39 linebacker, 240. We do need a linebacker, right, guys? Let me show you that. I'm going to just show a quick screen here for you just to say, hey, look, this could be a guy we could look at here. This is a guy that potentially could be a player that could really add speed, tenacity to this defense and really help fill in that gap for us if you end up leaving Khalil Mack or trading him off. I mean, heck, if we get a second round pick out of the guy, great. As a prospect, 5-star, 26th in the nation, number one outside linebacker, guys, for us. 6'3", 240. The guy has speed. Watch his highlights, guys. This guy is an absolute stud. First round. They're saying he's Rashaan Evans. You know what? I think sometimes I look at that and I think, yeah, that's a good idea. But I even look at Cowboys linebacker, which once again, we're starting to look at something like that where you start thinking, well, we got their O coordinator and everything. But if you start looking at, say, oh gosh, why is my brain not working today, dude? But either way, Cowboys linebacker, if you start looking at that and you start comparing me when I'm looking at him a lot, I think he's a lot more like a Michael Parsons guy than anything. He's kind of a guy that I just kind of has that level of just getting after the quarterback, nice length, long arms, just all around, wide shoulder, develop lower body, guy that could just find a way to be able to get off the edge. Khalil Mack's a stud. Don't get me wrong, but I do feel very strongly we're going to get very young at the defensive side of the ball. I think we got some good pieces all around, but we need that extra guy that could really just go out there and get after these quarterbacks. Younger legs all around. Khalil Mack had a little bit of a lull throughout the season, especially when Joey Bosa wasn't there. But throwing in a guy like, say, a Trenton Simpson at 21 could be phenomenal for us. I think we could even try to grab a tight end and pick 2 that we could potentially get in there too, guys, especially if we traded, say, a guy like Khalil Mack to free up our cap space and to be able to add another second-round pick to our team. Hey, we got to get young at some point, guys. And the Chiefs, to be honest, did that, and they won a Super Bowl, by the way, guys. So I understand, guys, it sucks thinking about getting rid of players, but what I'm emphasizing, guys, is that we do need to get younger all around. And we potentially are just looking at this very hypothetically, guys. This is going to be an interesting offseason, in my opinion. We got to find a way to be able to make this salary cap disappear and to be able to get a positive to pay off, some of our rookies and such too. So, I want to hear your guys' thoughts, bottom line on this, guys. Quick video for you. Just let us know what's your thoughts about Khalil Mack, potential trade. Where would that lead all around, guys, for us? So once again, guys, appreciate everything for you. Like, subscribe, appreciate all the support all around. Comment too. Please let us know what your thoughts are on something like this with Khalil Mack potentially getting traded to second-round pick. Once again, this is just a complete hypothetical conversation about players that are on our team to be able to get younger and to be able to develop more talent on our team. So let me know, guys. Let's talk about it. Like, subscribe, sub, comment. Appreciate you guys. Bros out.